Hello there, butterscotch buttercake, baby doll. So we are still on the hunt for bears. Crypto should be at zero by now, but we're not. Have you thought about that? You can interpret these messages, friends, right? I'm here to provide the language for you. This can only tell you that we have exhausted the bears from 2022. It doesn't mean that there won't be selling and disbelief crashes and a bit of hopeful rallies that then stop. We will still face them. But ultimately, the bears, the doomers, they've been exhausted. We have now pushed through enough narratives for them to realize, and the market as a whole, that if you sold the lows, you are a poopy McPoopy face. And you're smelly, and you're a bear, and you poop in the woods, and you have dirty fur. Clean yourself, please. You've been digging in the trash can this whole afternoon. Have some respect. By the way, I don't think bears can sit up straight either. So, where do we even go from here? You know, the Bitcoin halvening is 1 year away, and I'm not going to pretend to even know the deep intricacies of why this is the way it is. But the cycles keep repeating. It's crazy. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Which is my way of saying nuts. See, traditionally, you would think when everyone knows about a thing, there's no edge in there. There's no competitive advantage. But for some reason in crypto, this 4-year cycle, jizz, it's repeating 3 times in a row. Look, I've got a feeling something's going to break, but I'm too scared to say I don't know how or where. It's just like we're going to go into cycle number 4. How many times can we keep doing this? You know, we've had 3. Is that the 3 the magic number? But hey, let me tell you something. Just because it breaks, friends, doesn't mean the cycle will try to play out that way. And if I was to translate the charts for you, what that means is there are enough poor people on the sidelines who have missed out and who have heard about crypto riches. There are enough of them on the sidelines who they're going to come in and they're going to look at this 4-year cycle and go, wow, this is how it all works. That's what's going to happen. Most likely it's happening right now. And because they're looking at this cycle, it doesn't mean it's just not going to play out at the beginning. It might mean it doesn't play out at the very end. What I mean by that is maybe we don't have a traditional euphoria top somewhere deep in 2025. Maybe we actually do top out earlier in 2024. Anything can happen. Okay, we have to be ready for all scenarios, friends. So there's going to be 3 scenarios. Either, see, the Bitcoin halvening happens last year, okay, and the US banking system is going to need the printer, etc. But that's the undertone. So crypto itself, we got to be ready, right? Just like Mr. Trumpy here with the gun. What a cool AI image, by the way. So we got to be ready. Are we going to top out in 2024? Let's get the chart, right? Are we going to top out earlier, right? Mr. Bobby Lucas, Uncle Bobby has talked about this. It might be something like, woo, no, it's the end. That's one. Another one is that we actually just do the same thing and then it's over, right? One more, all right? We might also have another one, which is where we go up. Let's actually delete these, right? So you have, this was the left translated one. So we have one that comes early, one that comes on time, and one that, you know, this 2024, maybe doesn't actually get up here. Maybe something happens where we like triple top or something, right? And then only in 2026 do we start the rally, right? A big mega run. So that's a delayed cycle. And, you know, I already know you're going to ask me, why would this have such a big move at the very end? I'll tell you why. You have to become one with the market, okay? Touch its soul. You know how it works, these cycles. When they give you a lot of pain, there is euphoria. It's strange how markets work, but they do work like this. If they give you so much down pain, knife, stabbing, turmoil, war, destruction, it will reward you with a wonderful dove flying, and there will be a dove emoji. There will be a dove emoji to signify flying and the angel singing. Yes, that will happen. So that's possible, okay? Now, this is a very poopy scenario because, man, it's going to suck in 2025. You know, you're going to wait another year. But in my experience of markets, friends, when people come in and they're desperate, the market doesn't usually do that, right? It doesn't, because, so there's, if you look at the commodity cycle, there's so many people who are not interested in gold that they've had such a long depression phase, and, you know, and commodities in the metal sector, they've been such a big, long slump that it's probably going to have a giant mega giga run over the next decade. However, it's not going to be early. There's not going to be any premature pumps because there's not enough people there. It's going to be like a slow build up and then go on a nuclear run. But in crypto, me and you, right, we know, we're friends. Okay, you know, there are a lot of people on the sidelines. They want to make it in the next cycle. They really want to make it. So in my opinion, either we definitely are getting a cycle on track or the early one. Because the early one would make sense because you have 3 cycles of Bitcoin where people make money. Now, only we know, right, because we're doing the homework. We know these cycles are diminishing, yeah? We know each wave is diminishing, getting smaller. But people aren't thinking like that. They think, no, you're an idiot if you got in earlier. It's less risky for me to get in now. You're going to hear that by a lot of people who have big bags of Bitcoin and Ethereum, by the way. They're going to say, oh, I could make the case that it's less risky to enter now because of X, Y, and B reason. That's exactly what they're going to say. That's exactly what somebody who bought early is going to tell you, by the way. Like if I got Bitcoin at $200, of course I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you, hey friend, did you know buying Bitcoin at $100,000 is actually less risky than $200? Really? That's the narrative that will be pushed, by the way. You mark my words. That's exactly what they say because it's exactly what you want to hear, isn't it? You don't want to hear that you're buying it from a sucker. So it might be an earlier cycle because there's so many people who are desperate to make it. But at the end of the day, most of our coins, they still will be tied to the hip of Bitcoin and or Ethereum. So it might be Bitcoin, it might be Ethereum, it might be both. And I have this ChainLink prediction here, right? So, you know, ChainLink is tied to the success of Ethereum and the rest of crypto. It can't disconnect upwards by itself. Now, it can. I mean, theoretically, it did in the last bear market, but I don't think it's happening now, friends. We just got to accept that disconnecting from everything else, it's a very unique circumstance. You got to be a new coin with new narrative, right circumstances, and it's very rare. It's like going viral, you know? Like, why does that one viral thing get 3 million views, but something else only gets 30,000? It's just, it is what it is, right? So, Chainlink, they're going to keep doing fundamental upgrades. They're introducing CCIP. It's going to let different blockchains talk to each other, which is the new pillar of crypto, by the way. Okay, secret. It's a secret. Okay, yes, it's true. Because there's so many blockchains, so many communities, whoever solves a way to connect them all together, you have the next $1 trillion wealth generation. Chainlink is doing that. CCIP, that's exactly what it does. It's going to connect, you know, Polkadot, it's going to connect Ethereum. Anything can connect to the CCIP, which is Chainlink's nodes, oracles, and then they can go spit information out to each other. So every chain application, like developer, all they've got to do is learn how to connect to Chainlink. That's it, right? So whether you're on Solana, whether you're on Arbitrum, whether you're on some other chain, XRP, Ledger, whatever it is, if you want the premium valid data to make your smart contracts actually smart and enhance all your capabilities, you know, you want to get people's WhatsApp context. You want to get information from people's browser habits. You want to grab a certain community's loyalty card database. So infinite possibilities out there in the world, by the way, of data sets you can grab. They need somewhere to speak, okay? And the only place to get them would be, this is the logical place. You have it with Chainlink. Because how's a developer on Polkadot going to sit there learning how Ethereum works, and then Solana, and then Chop Suey, and then Craptos, and then all these other chains? You got no time to do that. You just want to make your app. But what if all you had to do was just know, hey, I want data it's available on this one chain. Everybody just has to go to one chain. Well, that's what ChainLink is doing, right? So does it make me excited? Yes, but no. I mean, no, because no one really cares. But yes, because he's a cute little Peppy wearing Sergey's little shirt, right? Little famous shirt. So on one hand, I understand the future. But on the other hand, we stay grounded. People might not care, right? So I think the price is going to readjust up eventually. I just don't know if we'll ever get super euphoria, right? But it doesn't matter, right? Because we don't know the future. You got to be long anyway, don't you? That's why my ChainLink target's $200, right? You know, my real ChainLink target, the real one's $600. But I've divided it by 3 just to let you know, right? I don't want anyone to get PTSD from 2021, just so you're in the mindset. Like, so don't misinterpret it. When I say divide these targets by 3, I want you to be thinking from today, hey, if we get to that number and you get nervous at some jitters, it means you should be getting some out for yourself, all right? Not all of it, but get something out. Something out. I wish we had that messaging from everybody at the top of the crypto market of 2021, but we didn't. We had 100K Bitcoin next, right? What's it going to be the next one? Something interesting to think about. But hey, the fundamentals are the fundamentals. This is breaking the paradigm, right? To believe in ChainLink, doing all this is very anti-Bitcoin maxi. The Ethereum guys don't even believe in this. This is very contrarian, okay? I'm basically saying there's going to be a lot of layer 1 chains, communities, networks out there, and entrepreneurs can enhance different networks because it's unbound potential, right? It's just limited to what data can they bring, right? For example, like, Uber. Uber could grab Google, the messaging system, the payment system, and then it put together and made Uber. Now imagine you got some random people, some developers making an Uber type of application on a chain that you've never heard of. Like, it's telling you right now, all it takes is one person to do something and suddenly that chain's going to have a lot of value. That's why you shouldn't write everything off. It makes no sense to me, right? The future, it's coming, but it's not yet written in stone, right? So I want to end this video, friends. I want you to see how Ethereum scaling has evolved over time, how fast this industry is moving. But you don't even need to really know these. You just need to know that value is being made. That's it. All you need to know. People equals value and it's going up. That's it. That's all you need to know, okay? Look, Ethereum scaling has evolved over time. So it started off with something we call state channels. It could only do payments, though. There were no smart contracts. That's how Ethereum first started, like, what they were doing at the start. Then came something called Plasma, which is, I think, one of the guns from Doom. And then optimistic roll-ups. Don't worry about them. When I think of a roll-up, I think of those, like, the little candy you used to have when I was a kid. We used to have some here. So the final holy grail, zero knowledge roll-ups. And I'm also getting hungry for some nice candy roll-ups as well. But at the end of the day, this doesn't matter. This is just scaling and solutions and all this. They build the infrastructure to account for more transactions, but then you need somebody to come and test the limit, okay? That's why we're going to have opportunity, friends. We're going to have opportunity. For example, when they first put the internet infrastructure out, it has 56 kilobytes. It was even slower than that. And then someone was like, hey, I can make artwork. I want to make my website pretty, and I've got to load 6 images. But you could only probably load the equivalent of 1. So all these people were like, yeah, man, these 6 image websites are awesome. And then they became like GIFs. And then suddenly people wanted to host files. They're like, hey, I've got like a photography hobby and I want to upload like videos and stuff. And the file sizes got bigger, and then we needed more internet infrastructure. And then internet movie streaming. You can see how everything came on, but it was people pushing the limit. So we're praying that we're on the right side of history here, where yes, the base layer blockchains, most of the fruit has already been eaten, right? You got Bitcoin, the monetary base. You got the smart contract platforms. You got Ethereum, the EVMs coming. They're easy to understand for people now, right? So because me and you, we're poopy heads. No, we're not poopy heads. We're peanut brains. Even the poopy heads, though, even they know to go to, say, Masari and look at the daily active users. Okay, that's what I'm noticing. I'm like, damn, everyone knows the trick. Okay. So you're probably getting confused. Shouldn't you be happy that you have the answer? Nope. No. You got to train yourself, Okay, this is why you're listening to me. Okay, if you can answer questions and you know where to go, most of the time, that's bearish. I'm telling you right now, I know so much of the game now. If I can answer questions relatively simple and easy, I know that I'm not as early as we could be, all right? You want to be in something where people go like, I have no idea what's going on. I woke up today, don't know where I woke up, got no clothes on, got lipstick all over my face, and I'm wearing a wig. Where am I? If you are asking those questions and you're seeing a whirlwind of people joining, which is the network effect growing, that is where you want to be. That's where people are going to come in. People love to speculate the future. We do. What's this new thing? Oh my God, what's happening? Right? When you introduce like price to earnings ratio and daily active users and all these yields and this stuff, it starts to lessen the euphoria, not increase it, lessen, right? Which is very sad because you would probably think now that people know how to value stuff, they would value it higher. But what you actually find over time is the market knows better than us, right? The market always gets overly excited. It never gets underexcited, all right? It never does. It's always too much into the future, okay? So I guess eventually this is where we're going to go. These zero knowledge roll-ups, people are trying to look for the latest chain. What's going to be the fastest one? What's going on? Wrong things to look at. It doesn't matter, all right? It doesn't matter. It's like if I took you 100 years ago and we just invented the car. We literally just invented the car and I'm telling you, hey, you know, people love like these cool looking cars with like engines sticking out the side. But then you try to tell me, no. Electric cars are gonna be the thing one day, man. And I'm trying to tell you, hey, yes, that's in about 95 years from now, okay? But today, right now, people can't even think about electric cars. People don't care. Their time frames are too short, okay? It's too long. And trust me, it's not worth your while betting on how long the exponential growth finally catches up to where people can understand it. You will lose more money doing that way. That means you're way too early. Way too early, all right? You got to think like the average peanut brain out there. Peanut brains, there's actually a formula, by the way. All right, I've kind of figured it out. Peanut brains can only think in 6-month intervals, all right? That's right, 6-month intervals. It's very hard for retailers to think beyond that. Sometimes, most of the time, it's actually less. It's like 3 months, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, if you're thinking for stuff in year 2, 3, 4, you better have a really good reason why that. And you better get in at a very low price that can grow exponentially and can more than make up for your time spent in that with your small bullets. But for everything else, don't waste your time, friends. Stick to what's happening now. This industry changes so much and moves so fast. Look at this. Stake channels, plasma, optimistic wallets, journal. Like, hello, this is like less than 10 years, right? They change and change again. What's going on? But at the end of the day, it's all about the network effect, right? I will tell you now, it's all about the formation of the people coming together. Are they a religion? Do you think they're a Ponzi? Does it look like a cult? Okay, that's what you want to see. Tell your mum and your dad that you love them, friends.